Alright guys, welcome back. I've got a new purchase here. This is a 1993 Suzuki Cappuccino. This is actually going to be one of my first car review videos, so y'all gonna have to let me know how I did. I did not wash the car before this, but the car needs a little more than just a wash to look pretty. It's also getting sunset because the AC in the car, I'm gonna focus here. The AC in the car, well, I'll explain as to what happened to it, but it doesn't work right now, so this is kind of my only chance to do it without sweating the entire time. So it's got aftermarket rims. My buddy tried to shine up the headlights a little bit. They do look better. As you could tell, it needs a lot of body work. Well, paint work, I guess would be a better way to put it. This hood is like completely faded. The side paint here, like right here, looks really good, this dark green, but then as it gets to here, the clear coat has kind of just worn out. These definitely need to be painted. I'm gonna fix all this stuff. I may actually wrap these top panels, this one being the worst, but I'm not seeing any crazy corrosion so far on this car, which is really good news. Even the paint right here looks really good if you look at it in the light. I'm also going to be fixing that and kind of getting the whole car actually going. Overall, this car is great. I have not really had any crazy issues like drivability wise. It does need some engine work, and I do want to fix a little bit of underbody issues. There's not any major corrosion per se, but if I go ahead and crawl underneath here, if you look here, so there's like the normal surface rust stuff. That stuff's fixable. What I find interesting is there's these little corrosion spots. Apparently this is super common on these, and it's good to fix them before they spread. I guess water collects there, so I'm gonna have to lift up the car and kind of grind that out, fix that up. I also need to reinstall, I don't know if y'all can see, I need to reinstall the brake line cover. We got it off the trailer and it just kind of broke off because of how low the car sits. But the seller, my buddy Patrick, who I will be leaving a link to his website in the description, he's a super nice guy, and he apologized for it. But he got me a really cool car at a really good price. So the reason this car is not in pristine condition is I did ask for a more project car and a project car price, because I really wasn't up to pay the $8,000 to $11,000 that these normally go for. So I got it at a way cheaper price, and it needs work. That's okay. Some stuff to point out, there's this little wire bundle, which I'm assuming was either for a light up plate or for some fogs, although I don't really see any mount for fogs anywhere, actually. Oh, you know what, maybe there were fogs, and there's these little screws. I wonder if there's one on the, yeah, I didn't even notice those. Okay, so there probably was fogs in this car. I'm not sure why they were removed. It does currently leak oil. There she is. Not crazy, but I'll show y'all why. As far as what it needs body-wise, just this is kind of the only thing it actually needs to be replaced. This interior panel is actually in the trunk. I need to mount it. We'll talk about the interior in a second. Overall, exterior, this car, besides the paint job and, you know, some of this stuff here, it's great. I have nothing to complain about. This is probably one of the coolest cars as far as exterior and size, and oh man, this is a dream car for me. So this is great. Roll around to the back here. The Cappuccino badge is still on there. I don't think, no, the Suzuki badge is not on the front. Not a big issue. I was never really a big fan of that huge S on there. So you've got your one tail light, which was the requirement in Japan at the time in the 90s, which I will be upgrading to an LED at some point because that is not going to cut it. I got my temporary tag. The exhaust system seems to be in fairly good shape. There's a little bit of surface rust, but nothing too crazy to complain about there. Taillights are in fairly good shape. Got my buddy, go hit him up on Instagram. There's me. What's up? Go Garage Imports. He's a super nice guy, Patrick. You got your little Suzuki logo, which is a normal thing. You got your gas cap here. That's about it as far as the exterior. These vents, super sick, super OEM. Let me go ahead and, I don't know if this door's unlocked. I'm gonna try to, let me go ahead and get that hood open here real quick. I'll show y'all. This is how you open the hood in the Suzuki Cappuccino. Good. Pop it on. We got some people coming over here. So I'll show y'all what it needs under the hood. There's a small dent here, which is really hard to kind of notice, but it's kind of like a flat face. All right. So yeah, this is my F6A dual overhead cam, 660cc turbocharged, inline 3. Definitely not OEM plug wires. We won't talk about that. I definitely need to get some replacements. So this is a great motor. As far as the engine bay, it's pretty much bone stock. Like, I mean, really bone stock. Literally bone stock. The biggest issue that I'm currently working with is a cracked manifold. My exhaust header actually has a crack in it, which I've been kind of temporary patching, but you'll be able to hear it whenever we get down the road. What else? So it needs new valve cover gaskets. You can see there's a lot of oil kind of down in there. The oil pan also needs to be resealed. That leaks just a little bit, kind of seeps really more than it leaks. Other than that though, the engine's fairly good. I think it has around 104 to 106,000 miles on it. I think it has like 100. I'll have to check on the odometer on that one. But yeah, so it doesn't need too much underneath here, just kind of some seals and plugs, and air filter would be nice. But yeah, so it's pretty good underneath here. Got your little intercooler there. We'll go ahead and we'll close it up here. Yeah, I need to realign these panels here. So on to the interior. We'll not discuss my amazing duct tape patching job. Trust me, it looks better than what it was before. This is kind of all torn out here. This is kind of the biggest issue with the interior. Other than this though, there's really not much in the interior that has a problem. This panel, like I said, is in the trunk, but these little rivets kind of broke off, so I need to figure out how to remount that. We've got our little oil change sticker here, I believe. On the odometer, we're looking at 168,000 kilometers. So yeah, if that kind of gives y'all a reference, any of y'all that know kilometers. The passenger seat is in really good condition. I still need to kind of go through and detail the car, but it's kind of just sitting right now until I get parts in, so I'm not too worried about that. As far as what was put in here that's not stock, we've got these little tweeters. They are Alpines, so hopefully they sound good. I actually don't know how they sound because this radio, it turns on, but it does not play anything. I need to work on that, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I got this little, I guess, protector plate, so when you get in, your feet don't damage this little running board, but I need to like screw it in or glue it in or something because it kind of slides back and forth, but it's kind of a nice touch. I'll go ahead and get in here real quick so I can, a little bit of a tight squeeze, show y'all around. I have that in here just in case that battery gets too hot. This foam mount came from Japan. It is useless to me. Mine is actually here because I'm going to be recording my drive here. Everything on this side is in fairly good shape. I'm not sure why this little clear plastic's showing through. I need to trim that up. Got our little cup holder that came from Japan. It's kind of neat. Absolutely useless interior light, maybe to read a book from like right here. The electric windows still work. The shifter is very nice. Some of these, actually a lot of these come with a second gear synchro kind of grinding issue. Mine does not have that, so very happy about that. Again, the AC did work, but underneath the hood there's the little sight glass for the Freon, and because the engine bay gets a little bit hotter than it's supposed to because that cracked header, one of the AC seals actually wore out and it just seeped it all out. So once I fix the header, I'll actually get a new seal and that should be good to go, because the AC was working when I picked up the car and it works really good. So need to fix that ASAP because I live in Texas and it is hot. What else can I talk about? Got our little pedals here. It's actually a very comfortable car. I do have slightly larger feet, but I wear 9.5, so they're not crazy big. The reason there's wiring hanging down here is because I actually have a turbo timer in the car. I'm currently trying to wire it up. It came from Japan and it was in the glove box when I got it. So I've been working to kind of route it back because I'm pretty sure it was mounted here, but they took it out for shipping, I'm assuming. Also, the wires that were on the front of the car that I zip tied up for those fogs, this is what that switch is for, I found out. It comes with the flare from Japan, not that fire extinguisher. I put that in here. You've got your little ashtray here. This car has been smoked in. It smells like Japanese cigarettes, and it doesn't even smell bad to me, actually. Kind of gives a weird vibe when you get in. It's kind of nice, but I probably shouldn't like it, but whatever. You've got your little defroster button here for the back glass. I am going to be tinting the car at some point, just not right now. It's not really at the top of my priority list. In here we've got the little, which it opens on the weird side, I don't know. This is all crap that came from Japan. Haven't really messed with it. Again, the car has been sitting. You've got your gas cap there. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can really explain about the interior. Again, these seats are comfier than a Miata because I drove a Miata and owned a Miata before this car. So very good to Suzuki for that. Suzuki tends to be pretty good at making really comfortable interiors. You also get an adjustable steering column here. It telescopes in and out a little bit and then up and down. And then this might be an aftermarket wheel. This is a very popular aftermarket wheel though, if it is, but I really like it. It's a little, I think it's bigger than stock, and it's just really nice. It's really stiff. There's no play in this steering at all. I love it. What else could we talk about in here? Let's see. We'll move, I guess, over to the back here. You've got your little storage tray. I've got my little Naruto hat. Just a little storage tray to hold a little duffel bag if you need to. You've got this thing here, which is used to move this kind of glass arch here into the body of the car, because this is a hard top, but it's also a convertible. These three panels actually come off and fit into the trunk. So you can have a full hard top, you can have a T-top, a target top, or you can just have full open. For the sake of the interior driving part of this video, I need the target top up, so yeah. Oh, there's a kid over here. He says that his skating's perfect over here. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the driving bit because it's gonna get dark soon, and I want y'all to be able to see inside the car and, you know, kind of get a little bit of a feel for the driving. Hopefully the viewing angle's good. I've never recorded inside this car, so yeah, we'll see. All right, hopefully y'all can see okay. If I do any more interior shots in this car, I may have to move the camera a little bit. For the sake of the video, I'll leave the top up, but it is very hot and very humid down here in Texas. That is on the very high part of the priority list. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get the car started. I'll roll the windows up so a little bit more quiet in here for y'all. So yeah, it starts right up. Idle's fine at 1,000 RPM. Just all of the exhaust is coming from the front of the car instead of the back. So let me roll up these windows here. The window motors do look fairly weak, but I've heard early model Honda Civic window motors should go right in, but find out eventually, huh? All right, so get our headlights on here. Also, somebody in Japan upgraded the headlights to OLED, or not OLED, but like LEDs, but they're not really good. They just look good. So eventually I'll upgrade those. But the brights in the car are very nice, so we're gonna get it in gear here. Go on a little drive. The car is definitely not as fast as it's supposed to be because of that header issue. Like, it's not getting as much exhaust gas through the turbo, so it's not getting as much boost. It'll definitely still hit top speed. I know from experience. I've drove this through Houston before. We're gonna go this way. This is actually my high school. But again, as far as drivability, this thing drives great. I mean, it really drives great. It's probably the only car I know that drives better than a Miata. And I'm referencing a first generation Miata, by the way, so that helps y'all get a little idea. This is my first time doing a review video, so hopefully this is very nice. I'm already getting really hot. So I don't know if y'all can see, but down here on the right, there's a little green light that comes on when the turbo actually kicks in and is pushing air into the motor. This is a turbocharged motor. So I don't know if y'all can hear, but the left rear shock is pretty much shot. It actually rattles quite a bit. That's something that I need to work on. I'm not even sure where I'm going to find those. I may just upgrade the whole car to coilovers at some point. I'm just not sure yet about that. Better get going. Probably should have gone in a second. I'm used to driving a 1994 Honda street van, like a K-van, so this is completely different than what I'm used to, especially with the power. But sadly, we don't really have a lot of mountains here in Texas, so it's just a lot of straight roads. But eventually I'm going to find, I may actually go out to northwest San Antonio and get some mountain roads. This car does drive really good at high speeds, so it handles fairly well in Texas. The only major downside is that every other car is humongous, even like SUV or even 4-door or 2-door little cars are pretty big. So it takes some getting used to, but because I daily drive a K-van, it's not really something I'm not used to. This definitely does sit a lot lower. I mean, this is probably another one of the only cars that sits lower than a Miata, so as reference, it's really low. But because of that, it handles really, really well in turns and stuff like that. So I'm also working on downshifting this car. I'm not used to the shifting in this yet, in the gears. Get moving here. So even with that cracked header, it does still have power. I've driven one of these cars, I want to say last year, that the motor was fine. There's no major issues or anything. And that one actually had the boost turned up to about 12 PSI, and I think stock is 7 to 10. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, any of you cappuccino guys that are watching. So I know that these things are super quick. I mean, they're not, I can't say they're crazy fast, but they're definitely peppy for what they are. Will I recommend a cappuccino for everyone? No. Because finding parts again is hard, especially with Corona going on right now. But if you love little unique cars and you love that kind of you in the car and the road type of feel, where it's just you got that connection to the road, this car is great for that. I can't not recommend it. I definitely don't think this car is for everybody. So I'm 5'11", and this is like a perfect fit for me. I would not want to be any bigger. If I owned this car, it's already kind of a challenge getting in and out of. There's probably a better method or something that I'm missing, but that's just from experience. I don't really drive this car much because of that cracked header. I do take it out at night though when it's a little bit cooler and try to drive it just to kind of get its legs moving. That guy's moving. But I definitely think that if you are considering getting a cappuccino, you should definitely go for it. Just keep in mind that finding parts and such is going to be difficult. Don't expect it to be easy. It's just something you have to get used to. There's a lot of parts that convert over. There's a lot of like Suzuki Samurai parts. I believe the motor mounts may cross over from a Samurai. So there's a lot of crossover parts, which is nice. But I don't know what this guy is doing. Speed up here. Again, I'm used to driving small cars, but a lot of my friends that drive with me say that they get really anxious just because of how big everything else seems. I guess it's just normal to me. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's not much to it. This car is great. I think everybody should at least ride in one at some point in their life. I think it's one of those cars you really need to take a ride in to kind of understand what I'm talking about, like the experience. And also, this car is very comfortable to ride in. Apparently, my buddy who owns a Miata says that this has more legroom, surprisingly. Do I believe him? I have no idea, but it's definitely comfortable in here. I also do plan to drive to Pensacola in this car, possibly. So I'm definitely going to try to get it as reliable as possible and definitely fix that AC. I refuse to go without that AC. I'm already sweating right now. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. I'm kind of still getting into the YouTube thing, so it's kind of weird just me and the camera. You know, y'all are watching, but definitely a learning process. I don't have a script or anything, nothing that fancy. Not even really fancy editing, but it's alright. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It's kind of getting dark, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. But I hope I got any cappuccino guys out there. You know, I hope cappuccinos, maybe a little bit more. If you think you got the money and you think you can afford one and you really want one, get one. You won't regret it. It might sit for a while waiting for parts, but you won't regret it when you're driving it. It's just, there's nothing else that feels like this car does. There's just nothing out there. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll see y'all in the next one. This is going to be a bit of like a, I wouldn't say restoration project, but it's definitely going to be my project car right now. So if y'all are interested in kind of seeing where this car goes, I'll probably be posting periodic videos on like little mods and stuff that I do. So yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Hit up my buddy Patrick. I'll post his website in the description where I got this car. You know, gotta rep my boy Patrick. He can get you a very high quality cappuccino if you're into those. The demand on cappuccinos and the price of them is going way up right now, just because of a lot of 90s cars can be imported right now because of that 25-year rule. So keep that in mind if you're